Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be taking my very first look at the all new F1 24, which I have got on the 3-day pre-release from the Champions Edition. So the first thing I am going to be doing now is going to go through all the menus, all the boring stuff, get them out of the way, and then we're going to head over, do some racing in the car and do an actual race at the end. So make sure you stick around to see what my thoughts are on the game. But now without further ado, let's head straight over, do all this boring stuff. So here we go, I'm going to go through all the menus. Here's theatre. As you can see, the first 3 or 4 of these are going to be the exact same, like theatre. Then heading into the store, you're going to see it looks basically the same as last year's, really. League racing, it's no different. Gonna look pretty much the same, but I'm just going through them just to show you guys what it kind of is. And if there was any changes, then I would obviously let you guys know. But yeah, so these first 4, just stock standard. There's not much they can really do to change it. Maybe the store they could change around a little bit, but other than that, not much. But now we head to F1 World, where all the changes really are. I'm going to go through, here's the garage. It's, again, this isn't going to be for most of you, because majority of you are going to just be for the career mode, right? So this is kind of if you want to play multiplayer or anything like that with your friends, that sort of stuff, then it's more for you. But for majority, it is the career mode that you'll be interested in, and the handling and everything. So we get to that, but we're just going through all of this. The liveries are the same. Obviously the new F1 24 cars are on here, all of them. The Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, Aston, all of them are on here. This is just a quick look with all their brand new 2024 liveries. And if you do click on them as well, you can see all their specs and information about the car, which is, it's pretty cool, a nice little feature. But now let's head back and to the main menu, and here is basically the hub of F1 multiplayer and everything like that, where you can get all the different modes for playing with friends, playing with even on your own, just against other people, that sort of stuff, challenges, everything like that. This is the hub of it, F1 World. So you can see the series. Honestly, I don't really know what many of these are, because I've never really done them. So the series, the solo multiplayer events, ranked multiplayer, which I have done a little bit of, goals, which I think is just like achievements, I think. I don't really know. And then here's all the single player stuff. But now back at the main menu, I'm not going to go into career mode. I'll click on it and I'm going to show you here, because there is a all new challenge career, which if you guys do want a video on that, comment down below and I will get one out for you guys. But I'm not going to dive into too much in this, because I am going to have a career mode episode coming out on the weekend, which is going to have my first look at the career mode and the all new features. Now, I've headed over into a time trial where I'm just going to do a couple laps and tell you what my thoughts are on the new handling. And straight away, the first thing that comes to me is, wow, this is so different. I mean, I didn't really play F1 23 enough for me to kind of like be able to nitpick at exactly what is different, but it just felt very different. The steering seemed a lot more pointed, and not on rails, but a lot more pointed. Like there's no, I don't know how to say it, there's no sensitivity. Like you turn and it turns a bit like a controller, like if you're playing on a console with a controller or something like that. It is very much like that. I don't know if this is something they'll maybe improve in the future with new patches and everything like that, but at the moment it is very controller-like, left right kind of thing. There is a way to fix it that I know a lot of YouTubers and that do, or just anyone that kind of has played it a little bit now, is the stock standard, I believe, is the steering set to a max of 180 degrees. And what a lot of them have done is instead they have turned it to 360 degrees, just to give them a little bit of steering. But another major difference is the traction control. While I was driving on the old game, I'll do medium traction control, which was actually quite slippery if you weren't that great at the game, you didn't spend a lot of time on it, which was me basically. But this year I'm on medium right now, and it feels really glued to in the high speed corners. It is basically glued to the ground. You're not going to lose the rear end through the high speed corners. The low speed a little bit different, but still the medium almost feels like full traction control on last year's game. That's just how I kind of see it. But now you can see I'm doing some laps here, and I'm getting quicker. I'm getting a lot quicker. I must say that I'm braking. You may see I'm going very deep into a lot of corners. that's because I hadn't really set up my wheel or pedals or anything. So my pedals, which are set through the software of their load cells, so they're quite, I put them like a high strength needed, a lot of weight. But on this, I didn't calibrate it right, so it works perfect for iRacing, but on F1 I need to calibrate the brakes first to get them perfect. But for now, they are a little bit off. But now I went back into the menu and decided it was time to step up the challenge a little bit, try something a bit different. So I turned traction control off just to see how it compared, since the medium was very, very glued to the floor. And you notice straight away into the first corner, there goes the rear end. I do think I got on the throttle very, very early there, to be honest, and like quite rapidly. So it was expected to spin out there, but even still, I felt now, as you'll see, I'm going on another lap here. I felt like it felt like it was less traction than medium last year, as I have a major moment there and lose a lot of time. But yeah, so I felt like it was less traction than medium control last year, but more traction than off in the previous game, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Yeah, as you can see, the gravel again spin out. But yeah, I ended up going through, did some more laps, and I got some really, really good lap times. Or for me personally, it felt good. It felt really, really good. But then into this corner, we get it all wrong, catch too much curb, and we spin. But if you notice, there's something else that's different. I held my brakes and I slid and stopped. Last year's game, I would have spun out completely. But now, I decided it's time to head into a race. So I put on medium traction control and headed into the race. And here we were going to 5 red lights, and they were out and we were underway. I got an okay, oh no, definitely a bad start. We almost lose the back end there, but Verstappen has had an even worse start. He's had an absolute shocker. And then we come into the first corner, we're braking off Verstappen on the outside. We squeeze him, a lot of contact there, but we managed to push him out, keep him behind, and we are up into P2 after starting third, which isn't too bad, but Sainz is already streaking off into the distance. But that is an okay start from us, even though the off the line it wasn't great. We got it all wrong with the wheel spin, but it was okay. But now we're going through the corners. We have a little moment there, and we're going to have to try our best to keep Verstappen behind as he's getting almightily close. As you can see with the white arrows down the bottom, he is getting very, very close, and they are going to be pushing me around this track as we go super, super deep because of my brakes still not being calibrated right to this point. And now Verstappen's on my inside. I haven't even got my look left, look right assigned buttons yet, so I can't even look at him, but he's around the outside, inside, and I'm going to go around the outside and hold him off for now with a pretty good defensive maneuver there. But something else you might notice as we're going through the race, on my HUD, I suppose, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the red bar on the left, which if you don't know is how far through the lap I am. And then on the right, the green bar at the top, the big green bar on the top, is how much energy I can use throughout the lap. So that's like a regulation now. You can only use a certain amount per lap. And the yellow at the bottom is how much I actually have in store to use. So that's just explaining all of that. But now we continue on the race. We're on lap 2. Sainz is still pulling further and further ahead. We have a pretty good turn 1. The others are all fighting behind. I wish I could actually have a look left, right. But as I said, my buttons are not assigned yet, so I cannot. But they are gaining and gaining down the short little straight. We go into this corner, not too bad. Maybe a little bit, could have carried a bit more speed. And then this is where it all goes wrong. We catch too much curb. We almost spin. We lose it. Luckily managed to hold on to it. And there is another example of the new traction, I suppose, is I held my brakes and managed to hold on to it. But we are not going to give up all these positions. I'm sending it back down the inside of Sargent. We're going to hold on to it. He's on the inside. We're fighting for it. With side by side into this corner. I'm going too deep again. But in the end, it actually helps me out as I managed to stay on the outside of Sargent. And we are racing side by side. It's an absolute drag race to the next corner. But I managed to pull up ahead of him. And now he has to slot in behind. And now at this point, I think we have lost to the other guys in front. We are not going to have a chance of catching them. But to hold on to P13 may be my best chance at the moment. And oh boy, this is going to get a little bit interesting. As we are now on the final lap. Sargent is looking for a move. He's gaining. We pull to the inside, then the outside to take back the racing line. But we go super, super deep. Sargent's going to send us down the inside, but we are not giving this up that easily. We're going to send it, absolutely barge our way through tons of contact. But I don't think there's any damage on at the moment, so we are going to send it and then take back to the racing line and pull it up in front of maybe a little bit of a dirty move there, but hey, who cares? It's a little bit of fun for today. But then we go deep again. It's a little bit better, but it's still too deep for my liking. Onto the back straight. Is Sargent going to gain on us? Yes, he is. He is pulling us in, reeling, and he's going to get to the outside. We're going to give him a bit of squeeze and then hold the inside line and push him out, and that is going to be us maintaining that 13th position for now, unless Sargent has any response for us in these final two corners. As we go through the second last corner, we have a little bit of a snapper oversteer, losing the rear end slightly, which is going to give them the time and opportunity to gain. We pull to the racing line and we take this corner nice and easily, not thinking much of it, but in the end we get a terrible exit and Bottas is coming out of absolutely nowhere. We're going to try squeeze him. I'm even pushing him, trying to push him against the wall, but he ends up getting us in the end and we finish P14. Not a great race if we were starting from third, but if I can say so, I genuinely enjoyed that racing experience. But that is going to be it for our very first look at the brand new F1 24. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you guys all took something from that. And personally, I think this is my final decision. I think even though there are a few things they need to work on, the new stuff they've added to the driver career, I think is going to make this absolutely worth it. So I recommend going out there and getting one F1 24 for yourself. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and make sure you stick around because on the weekend, my first episode of my driver career will be coming out. It'll be my F2 prologue. Make sure you go down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys then.